Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, August 30th, 2022. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With nearly 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business has provided quality work in roofing, garages, siding, window installations, kitchen and bathroom remodeling, vinyl and hardwood flooring, and they can even build your home or business from the ground up. Like Fitzy and I, they believe that it's the little things that make a big difference. So give them a call today. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Positive Tuesday is also brought to you in part by the Wisconsin Lakes team. It's still a great time to buy or sell a home, and when you do, we recommend our friends from the Wisconsin Lakes team. Anyone can say that they are an agent, but not everyone treats their clients as they would like to be treated. And that's what Aaron and Katie do. Find out more, visit them at lakesteamwi.com. Also supporting the show are our friends at Industrial Safety. We all know that Industrial Safety sells and services practically everything that goes into a fire station and on a firefighter, but they also provide kitchen suppression system maintenance, inspections, and installs. For more information about this service and to see a list of all of their available services, visit their website at industrialsafetystore.com. Fitzy, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Fantastic. So I think we're like a minute late because you got on at, we go live at 8:30, and there it is at literally 8:30. There, Fitzy signs in, as usual.
I had got a lot of things done this morning already, but maybe we should have Aaron and Katie on the show and talk about housing in Northwest Wisconsin.
Ooh.
That'd be a good topic.
All right, so I'm assuming that means you want me to do that. Okay. Aaron and Katie.
They can talk about housing, and that'd be great. So I just got my DrydenWire Inside ding. I'm a DrydenWire Insider, and my ding with live show ding.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that launched. Holy cow. Hey, good morning. And speaking of professional exteriors and interiors, right?
He's got new shirts.
Yeah, I know.
They're pretty cool.
I know. He sent a screenshot and said that we get some because on the back of them, I guess it says, our slogan too.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
He is a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, no kidding. And he on his Facebook page, he does a whole bunch of giveaways, and I keep forgetting to ask him what's that for, because I always see it when it's the winner is announced. I'm like, oh, I didn't see the first part where it's.
He's just a good guy.
Yeah, we like him, and we're certainly happy that he supports the show, because we always like supporting people that not only support us but are legit, right? And Brian certainly is. Well, it has been a minute since you and I have been on. Obviously, last week we were off. So in the last week, how was your week last week? You were off last week. Where were you?
Last week I was off. I don't
on
remember.
Tuesday.
I had something. Oh, I had a retreat for our chamber. That's where I was. I had a chamber retreat. I'm on the Chamber of Commerce in the city of Rice Lake, and we had a retreat to discuss our goals for the next year. And,
That's right.
And so we did that, and then it was the Cumberland Rutabaga, so we worked over at Rutabaga. I missed the parade at Rutabaga because of the crash, and we'll get to that. But how was your week off? You didn't have to do the show.
No, but I totally watched it. I mean, I was actually working on stuff, so it was just really weird. So that was the first time ever that I wasn't hosting a show that was, one of our shows. So it was really bizarre, and I can't thank Kirk Anderson enough for hosting that. And of course Brent Walk, that was his guest, so he was filling in for you. Brent Walk was the sheriff from Polk, and then Kirk Anderson, our friend, was filling in for my duties. They did a great job. I mean, it's a lot harder than people think to host and produce and to do a show and pay attention to comment. It's tricky to do, and that was his first one doing it for us, and I can tell you it was a lot better than our first show, because our first show ever was actually with you. That was 4 years ago, and it was Matt and I back, right? It was the Bat and Men show. So he did way better than we did on our first go around. Now it seems easy because we've done so many, but
Right. Yeah. Now we can just log in at 8:30 and start.
It just start, because it's like, I'm done. I have everything already, written out and scripted in terms of our intros and stuff. So that was fun watching. It's been like a freaking awesome last week, in the last 7 days. I don't know why. Just everything is just going really, really well. A lot of positive things. Wednesday morning, of course, that's when I record the show, Brian Cole's Story Show, which we air on Sundays. And I want to get to that in a little bit, because this last one was about meth. It was really powerful. So we recorded that Wednesday, and then I think around noon on Wednesday, that's when we officially launched our DrydenWire Insider. And then Thursday morning had Patty Schachter on, Democrat, running in the 28th Assembly against Gabe Magnifici. So we had like an hour-long chat. That was fun. I love talking to Patty, and she's been on our show. That was great. And then Friday, I had Senator Ron Johnson on. That was so bizarre, right? A sitting United States senator, and of course I got tons of hate mail for it.
Wait, you had a Democrat and a Republican. How dare you?
I know it. See, you're thinking logically, and that doesn't work for a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of haters out there, and they're way more loud than the lovers out there, and we've got to make that change. And I think, we've got to make that change. I got some ideas in my head, but they're just rolling around right now. So I'll come up with something better.
Should. We absolutely should.
The haters are way louder than the good people out there, and
I agree.
It's time to make that switch.
See, not on our show, though. So why is that?
Why is that? Because people are scared because these people are so in your face, and they start calling you names, and they are just in your face.
No, what I mean is everyone, like there's Sharon and Renee, they watch the show, and Brian's on, and anytime people comment on the show, it is 99.9% positive and nice. Why can't we just do that all the time? Like, I literally don't understand that part.
Because we're not afraid to, if somebody comments something bad, we're not afraid to call them out now.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So,
and we have before.
Right. But if I'm just on Facebook, or I can just throw it out there that, Ben Dryden sucks, and I don't have to have a response, or no one can respond back to me right away, then I get my fill. The enabling the bullies, and it's going to come to an end here. I can feel it. I feel the good coming.
Good. Well, I know that in the last week, this is something else that has empowered me a little bit, and I feel better. As you know, I think we have like over 20,000 followers on our Facebook page, and I have banned fewer than 50. Because you got to work really hard to get banned from our page. And it's not because of freedom of speech stuff, because that doesn't apply to us. It just doesn't. We're not a government agency or whatever. But in this last week, I've had kind of a short leash. When I see hate like that, it's done.
Yeah.
And I do it, I'm like, that feels really good. Like, I don't want to muzzle people. And it's okay if you think a certain way about something, that's fine. But boy, how they present it, and just the anger and the hate, I just have no tolerance for that anymore. And I'm just going to start banning people like that. And if people are upset about it, don't really care. Because it just makes everybody else's life better too, when you don't have to see that dribble.
Right. And the name calling, and you can be upset about whatever the topic is, and you can say that's wrong, and you can believe that, but you can't just bring in name calling and super exaggerated things, and grouping. If one teacher is bad, or one cop is bad, or one doctor is bad, doesn't mean all the cops are bad, or all the doctors are bad, or all the media is bad. If one media outlet has something bad, it doesn't mean that all media is bad. And you correct me on that all the time.
Yes, I do.
So that's happened, and I think we need to be louder, the good guys, and again, a lot of it is out of the area.
That's true.
And so they're really not local people when they do that, because local people believe in what we're doing, and so that's I don't know. It's just a little different, and we're not going to put up with it. And we've seen some hate over an incident in Turtle Lake, and we're not going to, I'm not going to comment on it because I wasn't there. It had nothing to do with the sheriff's department, but there's been a lot of hate and a lot of, freedom of speech. We actually talked about taking our Facebook page down because they're wrecking it for the people of Barron County.
Now, can you ban someone? You're part of you'd fall underneath that government agency and stuff, but at the same time, I think most people don't really understand fully what freedom of speech is.
Right.
What's that for? I mean, there's a lot. That's a whole other show just on that. But can you, as the sheriff's office, ban someone from your page for certain reasons?
We have, and your comment on it gets deleted if you swear, if you call a name, if you hate, if you, there's some pictures, but we don't ban a lot of people either. I would agree. I probably haven't banned that many, but if you swear, make fun of, incite something, lies, things like that, we have a policy on that. So we can do that, but there are also people from outside of this area that have inundated our Facebook page and other Facebook pages with not complete information, a lot of hate, a lot of assumptions.
Is it the Russians?
Maybe.
Could be.
So, and we've seen it before with incidents.
Yeah.
The embrace issue. We've talked about other issues. Just politics in general sometimes brings out a lot of hate. Or we may go in and say, we helped. Ron Johnson was in Rice Lake. We were there. We weren't there because of Ron Johnson. We were there to make sure nothing bad happened to Ron Johnson. Nothing bad's going to happen to a politician in Barron County without us having some support there. Chief Rue was there from Rice Lake. I was there from the county. We don't want nothing bad.
Yeah, you weren't there just because he was Republican. Like, if a Democrat was here, well, we're not going. Who cares? It doesn't matter. That's like literally our job. So,
right. We don't make assumptions based on what letters behind your name. So,
right.
And so we've just got to be better. And I contemplated shutting down the Sheriff's Department Facebook page, and everybody's like, well, you can't. Well, it's an open record. It's still there. We're just not going to post on it. We're not going to let people see it. If you need something off of it, we can get it for you. But that's not fair to the people of Barron County just because a bunch of outsiders came in and, wanted to wreck it. So
I think Brent Walk did that, didn't he, in Polk County? And I haven't checked in a while. Maybe it's back up now.
I don't think he did it. I don't think he said, I'm not going to do that, because we'd love to be able to shut comments off, but we can't shut comments off.
I know that's the dumbest or biggest oversight on the planet.
Right. They should create it so that we can just have put news up there and not have people comment. But there is some good in the world. So once in a while, the good comes out and somebody posts something.
And it makes you feel good.
We're gonna be better. And we're not going to let outside influences influence Barron County or Washburn County or whoever.
Are you still contemplating shutting down your Facebook page?
No, it's gotten a lot better, and I also don't want to do that to the people of Barron County. And we've just got to realize
it's the few that hurts the majority.
It always is. Always is. So,
yeah. So speaking of that, Dave Wilson. So of course, I got hate for having Ron Johnson on just because he's a very polarizing person. But it was the little things that made a big difference. And Dave actually called and said, I just want to tell you I'm proud of you. I said, oh, okay. Thanks. For what now? And he said, my guess is you knew that you were going to get hate when Ron Johnson was going to come on. I said, oh, yeah, I anticipated that. And he goes, but you still did it. You didn't let those naysayers and everyone else keep you from doing that because, again, it's a sitting United States senator. You're crazy to think I'm not going to I get a 45-minute live show. And again, this is not scripted. There isn't anything. This is like more than Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live gets dress rehearsals and they have cue cards. This is just, we start off talking and I don't know where it's going to go. And a 45-minute chat with a United States senator, of course I'm going to. But we still did it. And sure enough, we got a lot of the hate. But it's hard to kind of tune that stuff out sometimes. But at least now I'm getting used to, okay, I know I will for this one. Interestingly, I never get them when we have Democrats on. Like Sarah Yakub running in the 30th Assembly District. She's a Democrat. She'll be on this Thursday. Won't hear anything from anybody. I don't get it. It's really bizarre.
And it's just, again, you don't have to agree, but you don't have to send you an email saying, you know what, Ben, I think you're wrong. I don't care. I
don't either. Like there's things on, like we've talked about it before, like Netflix. There's a show. I'm like, I don't like that show. Not going to watch it. I don't send them a message and let them know I don't like that you have that on there.
I don't think that half-hour comedy is,
Yeah, right. Yeah, what do I care? Hey, so
but I'm sure there's people that do that.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I never thought about that.
You should get someone from Netflix on and see how many hate mails they get.
All right, Aaron and Katie.
And Netflix.
Netflix executive. Okay. More likely for one of those than the other. We had a viewer question, and it was sent to us via email last week, and I sent it to you, and it said, would you get this information? And the question was this. So as a driver and at night, is it legal or illegal to have a light bar on either a car, truck, SUV, UTV, ATV, motorcycles, and drive on the roads with them on? So I want to take a swing at this because I have a big light bar on the front of my Jeep. Okay. I never turn it on because, pretty sure it's illegal to turn it on. I think I turned on once on a dirt road,
Mm-hmm.
like going to my parents' house on a dead end road just to see what it looked like. And wow, that was really bright. But it's just for looks. Let's face it, that's all it's for. But you can't drive with them on. Now, that's just a vehicle. Is that right?
Correct. You can't drive with anything above your headlights on. That's correct.
Above your... Oh, see, no, that I didn't know. Above your headlights.
You can't have your light bar on. You can't have that when you're going down the road.
Sure.
Like you can't in the
But it's
parking
legal to
lot.
have them and hooked up to work, but you just can't turn them on.
Right.
Is there any exceptions to that? Because I thought it was like if you're on a dirt road or a dead end or something, or maybe not. Maybe that's 100% never.
Road. Right.
So the only time you'd be able to use it if you're in a field, like not on a road.
Not on your private property. Yep.
Okay. So then he continued. So he was also asking about ATV and UTV because he said, I come across more and more UTVs with them, and they never shut them off when meeting them on the roads, not just dirt roads. So I want to understand if I'm able to get one on my car and drive it on. So I think we're talking about two different things.
Right.
I think we addressed the vehicle one. If it's above the headlights, it's not illegal to have it, just illegal to use it.
Correct.
Kind of like tobacco. Like you have to be 21 to buy it, but 18 you can still smoke it or something like that, which again is so stupid.
There's something weird.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we're kind of referring to mostly the LED bars, and I think that's what Amanda was just referencing. She said, I've seen a couple vehicles where there's an LED bar just above the license plate. That's interesting. Is that? Oh, that's a good one.
I don't think that's illegal.
But I don't think you can use. Can you use?
I think you can.
I suppose it would. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I want to get to the ATV UTV thing.
And I know part of this answer.
Okay.
No on the roads. I think you can use them on the trails. So if it's a trail, because it's not a roadway, but you can on the roads.
So if they have a light bar on a UTV, let's say it's at the top, kind of like how my Jeep is right above the windshield, and there's a big light bar,
Right.
they can actually have that on the trails and they
don't. That's the part of the question I didn't know. My rec guy's on vacation, so I don't know the answer.
We'll have to get back.
Yes. So, but you can't have them on the road.
On the road. But on the trails, we're thinking maybe, but I would feel like, if somebody else is coming, it's like high beams. You're supposed to turn them down. I wonder if you have to turn those off. Okay, so I guess we don't really know the answer to that quite yet.
Right, and I do, and I don't believe you can, but I don't know. The trails are different because it's not considered a roadway. But many roads in Barron County and Washburn County and other
Are legal.
You can drive on the road, so you couldn't have that on the road.
Okay, so we do know if it's on a road, never can use them.
Right.
But we just aren't 100% sure for a UTV or an ATV on the trail.
Right.
Okay. DNR for that's good. Yes. No kidding. All right, DNR.
The head of the DNR, not just
head of the DNR. I don't know who that is.
Don't get the head of it. It'd be like having me on. Like, I don't know all these traffic questions because I don't get to do it much. So don't get the head of. Let's get a true warden in here that knows the rules.
All right, this is going to be a long show when we have all these people on. We're going to have them all on at once just to get it over with. You each get 5 minutes.
Answer your questions.
Answer your questions. There was Steve asked any comment on the stupid video going around featuring Chief Gobby.
We already talked about that a little bit, and I don't have a comment on it because I haven't seen the whole thing. And I can tell you, Chief Gobby's a great guy, cares about Turtle Lake. They have ordinances over there to take care of some of their drug issues that they've had. I don't know the whole details of it, but Chief Gobby's a good guy. He's been a great chief for years. He cares about Turtle Lake. And, I don't know the whole details behind this. I won't comment on it. I don't comment on other people's cases. I can just tell you how great a guy Chief Gobby is. And, and that's where some of this hate's got to stop, just because whether it's a mistake or not a mistake, or the person that he had the interaction with was mistaken, I don't know the answer to that. That is not my choice. It has nothing to do with the sheriff's department. But I can tell you that it's overloaded our system here, our Facebook, and we had a lot of calls into our dispatch center unnecessarily with a lot of hate that we have nothing to do with it. We don't have anything to do with Turtle Lake. So
we even got email on it. Someone sent us an email, and it was like every other word was an F word.
Right.
And I'm like, what are you even talking about? It was like F the pigs and all this stuff. I'm like, we didn't do a story on this, or I post. And I assumed it was about that. I haven't watched it, and I don't want to watch it. I shouldn't say don't want to. Well, I don't know. It's just whatever.
Yeah.
But anything that would paint law enforcement in a negative light, I'm not, I don't particularly just care for that to begin with. Again, I've literally not watched it. I'm not just saying that. I made a decision when I saw that what the headline was and whatever, and it's, I just don't want to watch it. I don't think that's just going to make my, life any better by watching that. So I didn't. So I don't really know what that was. So therefore, I literally have no comment either because I didn't even watch it. So, but I have also talked to Chief Gobby, and super great guy. But I don't know. I mean, maybe he's the worst cop in the world for all I know. Not from what I'm told. I'm told he's actually really, really good. But you know what? It's sad that we're all jumping on something so fast.
Well, and I'm not saying there's not bad cops. I'm not saying there's not bad everybody. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we don't make mistakes as law enforcement officers. And I'm not. But the overreaction of people is a little out of control. I mean, literally.
Yeah, and I got to question the person who's recording it and what the motives are there.
Well,
I mean, I'm just saying. So yeah.
But we had over 150 calls on Friday night on this topic, probably from the same person from a block number. We couldn't trace it, and it interfered with our 911 system. And if we could have found that person, I would have gotten them arrested. We couldn't find them. We worked hard on it. But and again, I think the people of Barron County understand law enforcement. The people of Washburn County understand and support their law enforcement, and that's what I stand behind. I don't really care what a guy in Washington State thinks about Turtle Lake or Barron County. I will take his input because I take input from all people, but I don't really care. And I don't mean that to be negative. It's just you don't know anything. You watched a 30-minute video or a 15-minute video or whatever it was, or read a comment in a newspaper or whatever it was. You don't get a say. I mean, you want to move to Barron County and make a difference, I'm happy to meet with you. But you don't get to just fire some stuff off.
And going back to what we were talking about earlier, I mean, when it was, if Senator Ron Johnson was in, and it doesn't matter if he's Republican, Democrat, it's literally our job to go and make sure everything runs smoothly. You have like 45,000 bosses, right? Not really bosses, right. But you know what I mean? Your constituents. Those are the people who, would hold you accountable, and they do hold you accountable as they should. Right. And those are the people that you try to keep safe and that you work for. If you're not in my constituency, it's not that I don't care about you as a human being, but I don't care about you so much as a sheriff, because you're not my responsibility. The citizens of Barron County are my responsibility, and you don't live here. So it doesn't mean that you don't have a voice. It's just, I probably don't care as much.
Well, you don't have a voice, because if 44,000 people want me to have green squad cars and you say, no, I don't like green, I don't care. The other 44,000 want them. So you don't win. I mean, and that's the great thing about America. I mean, you can have an opinion, just don't make it so negative. And I mean, you got that comment. You didn't even know what it was about. You sent it to me.
I sent it to you. And I'm like, I think this must be for you. I mean, it was horrible.
I mean, but it was, every other word was an F word.
I know it.
Other words. And I mean, it was like, if you're going to call and make a point to me, like, I've had some pretty good discussions with some people. And they weren't from Barron County, and I still had that discussion with them. And we had some interaction. It was very positive, and they thanked me, and I thanked them, and we went on our day. That took 5 minutes of my life, but I don't need to defend, and I don't need my dispatchers or our patrolmen or the Turtle Lake Village Hall or wherever the incident takes place in America to be overwhelmed with people that don't live in Turtle Lake. It doesn't make sense. If the Turtle Lake people want Chief Gobby or want someone else or want whoever or whatever situation it is, but
that's for Turtle Lake to decide.
What Turtle Lake stands for.
Yeah.
They know what Chief Gobby stands for, and that's all that matters to the village of Turtle Lake.
That's right. And you said 150 calls Friday night, and maybe you already said this, but about how were they mostly from one person, or was it really 150 different calls?
I would believe it's from one person.
Or a larger percentage.
I don't think I would think most of them came from the same block number.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to understand, like, why would 150 people be calling
It was in the middle of the night. I'm sure there was some extracurricular activity going on, alcohol, drugs, whatever. I'm not saying that.
No, I know what you mean. It just sometimes. Yeah, and that's a good point from Cheryl. It's sad that people will clog up 911 lines. And is that true, or like if somebody keeps calling, you have more than one person taking calls, right? I mean, it's not like hey, you've called
And they weren't
911 emergency dispatch. Please hold.
right.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming that doesn't happen.
Clogging up 911. It was our non-emergency line.
Okay.
So it does. If a 911 rings, it takes precedence. So because they're not local, they can't dial 911.
Oh, right.
So you can't dial 911 and clog up from your house
duh.
to Barron County. So
Right.
So it wasn't 911, but I believe it was outside. And again, I'm not looking to get anybody fired up over this. I don't need a bunch of comments. I'm not looking for that.
Yeah.
I'm looking to say we just got to stop some of the hate. You can have an opinion. You can have an opinion about Ron Johnson or Romaine or me or you or media or whoever. And people
or
do.
Chief Gobby, or the person that is the other
Right.
person, the one holding the camera.
Right.
That's fine. Just don't be hateful about it. That's stupid.
Yeah, let's just
Be better.
We're all good there.
All right, so I want to get to one.
Wait, we got to talk about your kid and her job at the library.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So Riley, there's an update. She started yesterday. Was her first. It was a day of training. It was an 8-hour day. So Riley started her job at the Spoon Library. What?
She worked 8 hours. She's exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm never doing that again, Dad.
Well, thankfully, because she's only 14, her regular shifts are only going to be like 3 hours long and only a couple days a week. But this was more for training, and she just absolutely loved it, and it was great because like Jerusha is also off. She took the whole week off because school's starting again, and with the holiday weekend, and because she works at the DA's office, that's if you add it all up, it's like 11 days off, with only taking 5 days of work off because of the weekends, then the holiday weekend, and with school starting. Oh, you know what? We should have had her on the show this morning.
Who, Jerusha?
Yeah, we should have Jerusha on.
Oh, we should have.
Woman!
No, don't. We're going to get an email. Don't do that.
No, she never responds to that anyway.
I'm sure she's cooking your breakfast.
Yeah, she probably won't. She probably won't come in here now.
Here comes a frying pan at your head.
Yeah. So that was great. It was absolutely wonderful that she's starting there. And again, school starting, and I want to get to that about school and some, what are you looking for, or as law enforcement, and what as we as a community can do other than the obvious, I think, just watch for buses, etc. But I want to get to this. You sent out a press release. I think it was, I don't know. I think it was it yesterday?
It was.
Yesterday, and our headline was 2-vehicle crash in Barron County results in multiple injuries. What can you tell us about that?
Sure. On Sunday morning, I was on my way to the Rutabaga Parade, actually, in Cumberland, and there was a crash on Highway P, which cuts through Cumberland all the way to Elmina, and a subject or a female went through. I shouldn't say went through the stop sign, hit a truck that was pulling a camper, and the camper just kind of exploded. It didn't hit the camper, it hit the truck, but when the camper hit the ditch, it just, there's campers. It was very, it was like a 33-foot, 30-foot, something like that, 28-foot camper, and it just took several hours. We were on scene from about 11 till about 2:15.
It was like the propane tank or something?
Well, there was a propane, the front of your camper.
Yeah, is that what caused you think anyway, or?
No, that didn't. There was no explosion. There was nothing. I think.
Oh, I thought you just said there was an explosion.
No, the camper kind of just when it hit the ditch, it kind of just.
Oh, got it. Oh, okay. I thought you meant like TV. Somebody just shoots a car and it blows up. I'm like, what? I didn't know it could do that.
Yeah. And they don't do that. But,
okay.
But we extricated a couple people. Cumberland Fire was there, Cumberland Ambulance, Mayo Hospital, and the Lifelink helicopter, and we got everybody to where they needed to be, and we got it all cleaned up. S&R towing came with. We had dump trucks out there. It's my first crash scene where I had to use dump trucks and a payloader and some other stuff to get it all cleaned up. And we did, went into a farmer's field and we got it cleaned up as best we could for him, and. I think everybody's doing okay. It seems that everybody's going to be okay out of this, and they're banged up. But pay attention. I mean, it's sad that it happens. And again, even on that post on Facebook, there was a lot of negative comments about, different things. And
I'm going to start going to your Facebook page more often.
Yeah, and
look at your comments
right now,
because we don't get a lot of comments much anymore. I don't know why, but we don't really as much as we used to. Which is kind of nice, to be honest.
I get tired of it because some of them are negative again. It's like I get it.
What was the negative about?
well, they're like, oh, the female driver, she was texting. We don't know what she
What?
was doing.
No.
We didn't put
Right.
any of that in there. She wasn't, we don't know the answer to that, or I don't know the answer to that. Maybe our law enforcement officers will when the report gets written. But she wasn't from the area, so I don't know. Maybe she wasn't paying attention. Maybe the sun was in her eye. I don't know what the answer is,
Right.
but it doesn't matter. Like, I love the prayer support. Thanks to law enforcement, thanks to the fire, thanks to the ambulance. I mean, our volunteer fire departments, we've said it on the show 1,000 times, are the best. And all of those guys are getting ready for their hometown parade, and they all leave their families and their parade routes and everything and come and help this family, and then they go back to this parade. They just extricated 3 people, got them into a helicopter, put them in ambulances, and they went back like nothing ever happened. And
That's
that's
weird.
what our firemen do in Barron County and in Northwest Wisconsin. Our volunteer firemen are amazing men and women. And so I think it's awesome what they do, but I mean, people don't realize that what they just saw and what they just dealt with, and then they go back to waving in a parade and throwing candy to kids. It's just, that's what law enforcement does. So,
Yeah.
but so
Well, there was, if I recall, was there one with a serious injury?
yeah. And that was the person flown out, and I think he'll be okay. I don't think it was life threatening, but he had some serious injuries. But it was S&R Towing out of Cameron did an unbelievable job. Our tow trucks don't get a lot of credit sometimes for what they do, but he brought out 3 tow trucks, a semi, a dump trucks, bulldozer, skid steers, I should say. And people and personnel again on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Usually a tow truck is, hook up and go, and this one was clean up and took 2 hours.
Yeah, think about all the logistics that go into that. And which is good. I mean, these are taxpayer dollars for the most part, right? These are people that are going, one, make sure we can help and assist the individuals first. Let's make sure that they're taken care of and sent to where they need to go. Then the ambulance, the emergency, and then the communication, and the 911 or your dispatch. Then they have to field a lot of calls saying, hey, I just saw this stuff. And then get a helicopter there. Then, again, the ambulance there and any emergency services right there. But then it's also we just don't all get to leave. But we need our firefighters there. We got to get this road cleaned up. We can't have it all backed up. There's a lot that goes into these things. That's a lot of things that actually have to move in unison in order to have it everyone is safe or as best that you possibly can, and to have it cleaned up and back to running normally.
Right, and we close a major highway that comes into the town that's having the biggest parade of the year. So we closed that for an hour before the parade, and we finally got that open to 1 lane. So there was a lot of traffic on the road. It's not like it was a regular Sunday morning, and there was a lot more traffic because of the Rutabaga parade. I didn't even get to the parade. We had another emergency call in Dallas, so 2 of my deputies had to go that way. So I stayed instead of going to the parade, because I just can't go on a parade just because I want to be in the parade and there's a road closed. I have to stay and help the deputies. I was there. So I missed that. I missed the parade. I mean, I love parades.
You love that stuff, man.
I love that stuff. And so, but I did make it there right at the end of the parade, and I did get to see a lot of the people and thank them, and they thanked me. And we had a great Rutabaga. Chief Wolf did a great job over there, and her staff did an unbelievable job. The Rutabaga put on some great music and some great bands, and there wasn't any big problems. There was no major incidents. It was awesome. So big festival kicks off into our Labor Day weekend. One more great weekend here of summer before a lot of schools started today here in Barron County.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, lots of schools started today.
Nice.
All but about 2, I think, started today. So we're full swing into school bus, school zones, everything like that. Labor Day weekend's coming up, seatbelts or trails, life jackets on the boat still, and one more good weekend of good weather here. It looks like we're going to have some great weather. So just be safe, have fun, but school zones. Our kids are excited to go back to school. Most kids are excited to go back to school, I should say.
So when we look at or talk like school safety and what parents should do, there's the obvious one. So if there's a bus, slow down. You see a bus, stay behind the bus. How far do you have to stay behind do you have to stay behind the bus a certain distance?
No, just stop for the bus. Don't pass them. If their stop arm's out, don't pass the school bus.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever passed a bus, whether that stop sign thing was out or not. Because sometimes I'm like, I can't remember. I'm like, can I pass if the stop little thing is out? But honestly, I just resort to, I'm not usually in that big of a hurry. And this isn't about whether it's legal or illegal. I'm more concerned about, some kid running across and maybe the school bus driver forgot to put the stop, which I'm sure they don't, but I'm just saying, you know what? I'll just wait an extra 30 seconds until they start going again.
Yeah. All you need to do is have some patience, and kids are going to take longer. School bus routes are going to take a little bit longer the first couple of weeks till we get into a routine, and then they get clicking. So just give some extra time. Kids are excited. They're just going to say, "Hey, there's Billy. I haven't seen him."
And maybe that's it too. We don't think about the kids.
Right.
I mean, what I mean is they're not into the routine yet of stopping, looking, okay, now I cross the street. You're right. They may see their friend on the other side and go, "What?" And they run over and they forget, because it may take them a little while to kind of get back into the routine of being safe.
And just give our school bus drivers and our crossing guards some time. They're not like, here comes a car, I'm going to slow it down just for fun. They're doing it because there's a kid crossing the street.
Right. So what is this pepper eating? What is this all about? And congratulations, Jody, to your son.
Yeah.
For being the champion again this year. I guess that's a thing. So what this apparently this is a thing now. So we have to talk about that.
Yeah. So I love it. The KC Pepper Sandwich Stand is at the Cumberland Rutabaga, and I work every Thursday. We sold like 600 sandwiches from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Thursday just alone. I love that shift. It's a nonprofit, and all the money goes back into Cumberland. So the KC
shift. I literally thought you said something else. I'm like, I love that. I'm like,
shift.
Family show.
I didn't say it.
I know, but like, okay, do I shift? That I love that shift is what he said. Sorry.
Anyway, a pepper sandwich is all put together. It's a burger, and then they take all these peppers.
Okay, a burger and all the peppers.
Mild, and they put them on a sandwich, and they sell like hotcakes. I mean, they're just great. They're just people just buy them by the truckload, and then they have this pepper eating contest where you eat the peppers alone, and he ate a pound of peppers in 9 seconds. So,
why?
Why? Because
why would you do that?
Because you got to win, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is it, like a trophy? Is it a ribbon, or do you get something?
No, I think you only get a trophy.
Well, still, that's something.
That's right. You get something, and you get the recognition. It's pretty big to be the pepper eating champion.
No kidding?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't even know it exists. And yeah, I mean, you're right. I need to go there, I guess.
Yeah. It's a pretty neat festival. It's probably the biggest festival in Barron County. They do a great job of putting it on from the chamber, all of the volunteers, all of the sponsors. I mean, it's all in one couple block area, a carnival, a beer garden. All the food booths are nonprofits, so all the money goes back into the community, the KCs, the Kiwanis, there's a church, and there is the ski club, the cross-country ski club. They sell. And so we had meatball sandwiches and pepper sandwiches and cheese curds, and it was great. So
Karen's nephew. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've been in the dark this whole time. And by the way, so Dirk had put up the weather looking forward for this week. I need to reach out to Dirk because I just sent him a friend request on Facebook, and I don't really know that much about him. I mean, literally, he provides weather stuff on our shows, but I don't know that much about. And I couldn't see some of his stuff on his personal page. And then when we accepted my friend request, thanks, Dirk, I went through and like, holy cow, like what does this guy do? And it's crazy what he does, and the storm chasing and all the photos that he does in his channel. No kidding. I need to talk to him. I kind of want to think maybe even do a story about him because that is so cool, the stuff that he does. And I didn't know that.
Yeah, he is the most, like Amanda says, the most accurate weather you're going to get. He's pretty good. He stays on top of it, and he lets us know when some bad stuff's going to happen. So we appreciate Dirk and what he does. Like everybody. So it's the little things that make a big difference.
It is the little things. So there was other things I want to get to just in terms of press release articles, but we're not going to have time. There are 3 other stories. Now, these are our insider stories because DrydenWire launched our insiders. So our original crime of court stories and like our disposition reports and stuff, they are now under, you have to be a subscriber. And dude, it's $5 a month. Help us out. But
I pay for the year.
That's because then you get 2 months free. And we even have, I think like today, we can still even do I think by the end of today, people that subscribe to our email list or something, you get an extra month free. So if you wanted to try it, you know what I'll do? When this show is finished, I'll put in a link. Because I think today's the last day, where if you click on it, it'll go and then you get an extra month free. But anyway, so these are just the headlines over the last week from Barron County. Court orders man to pay $30,000 for damages to Cumberland City Hall. Another one was man faces felony charges for cutting utility wires and stealing copper. Do you actually have anything you want to add to that one?
I don't know about that one. I can't remember that one.
Okay.
I know about the guy that crashed into City Hall.
What are your thoughts on that?
He could have got a little bit more. I think he only got probation, didn't he?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I remember reading or remember getting the the complaint and looking at all the stuff and like, I don't know. I mean, okay.
The price of copper, I think, has gone down, so I don't think we'll see a lot of copper thefts. But I don't know. We've seen it. We've had a few more burglaries, but we think we know we're coming for you, somebody.
Hey, all right.
We've had burglars, so we're coming. If you're a burglar, you better watch out. We might come knocking. So there, that's my thing.
I love it. And then the last one, and again, these were all original articles we have done in the last week. Cybertip leads to new charges for man already charged with distribution of child porn. And I just have a quick question about that, not that specific one, but it seems like we're doing here at DrydenWire a lot more stories over actually all year, to be perfectly honest. This almost year to date, a lot of articles because we want to do those. To be honest, we want to. If you're child porn stuff. Those are like one of the few criminal case stories that we do that I love doing. I mean, it's terrible. The whole situation is terrible. But I love doing it because I do want everybody to see these people. But we're seeing a lot of them across Northwest Wisconsin, a number of them in Barron. Has there been a focus that you're aware of on this? Or do you just think it's just, I don't know, man, people are really into child porn lately. I don't know why. Or is there a focus of we want to catch these people? Because a lot of these are investigations or like an undercover sting, like a cop posing as a 15-year-old, so it's not actual real. Has there been a focus of that?
Well, there was a focus on that. Chief Wolf, when she was with the Rice Lake PD and had done some work over there. So there was a focus. We don't have a focus. I think this is a outcome of work from home. I think when you and I are at work, I'm like, I can't search child porn today because I'm at work. But if I'm at home working, and I take my lunch break, and I think I have this, a lot of us went to internet's gotten faster. So I think this is an outcome of work from home. That's just a totally uneducated, no statistics to that data. I mean, we've talked about that from a detective standpoint there, and we feel that it's a work from home thing where these people have more access at home to computers than they did because they were at work, and now they're working from home. So that's just a guess on our part, totally a guess. But
it's more of a hypothesis, right? It's an educated guess. I can kind of see that, actually, yeah.
So we think that it seems like that's a trend, maybe, or more people did it because they were at home longer. I don't know. And cyber tips they come to us, so yeah.
Well, I was just curious. Because we see a lot of them, and those are just the ones like in Barron County, but I think we just did one. Shoot, hold on a second. Let's go to our website right now. I think it was our feature story yesterday still. Yeah, online undercover investigation leads to sex crime charges for a Hayward man. And we're just seeing a lot of these lately. And again, not just last couple of weeks, but this year.
Right.
Which, again, I kind of like because we're busting them. What I don't want to see is all of a sudden we don't really hear about these things anymore. Or I don't see any criminal complaints being filed anymore, because that means either we're not looking for it or they're getting away with it. Or maybe they just went away, but I don't think that's very likely. I don't really see that like having a downtick.
Right. No, I mean, I agree with that. So I don't know. We got to figure it out because we don't want them. And yes, you're going to become Facebook famous if you have child porn and we catch you. So
yeah, those are the ones that, again,
that doesn't bother us.
Nope, not at all. Now, honestly, innocent until proven guilty. But when these people are, I mean, you can't. Yes, they could be innocent, and we have to view them that way. But even when you're busted with it and it's on your phone and you're the one who has access, and then you essentially admit it during the investigation.
And you got to remember those cases are multiple search warrants before we put a press release out. We've served multiple search warrants and got a lot of information, and judges have signed off that says there's enough information to serve a search warrant on your house based on the information. And those aren't cases we take very lightly. And those are also something that everybody agrees with. We get very few negative comments on that.
Same here. Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing that. Why don't you go catch the real bad guys?
Right. Like the people growing pot. Or wait, no, that's not right. It's meth. Oh, wait, that's right. That's not even it anymore.
Right.
All these meth charges. Why don't you go focus on the real criminals? Yeah, but meth is a crime.
So is marijuana. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't make the laws. All right, what do you have coming up this week?
I'm off next week.
You're taking the week off? A whole week?
I am taking the whole week.
What?
Yep.
A work vacation or personal life vacation?
Half and half. I'm taking a few days before, and then I have some work things at the end of the week. So I'll be off next week. And,
oh, shoot. I'm going to have to find a fill-in guest. Or maybe I'll just take the day off.
Yeah, maybe. It's the Tuesday. Well, it's the first day of school. Remember we talked about not doing the show?
First day of school?
For your kids.
No, that's tomorrow for them here.
Oh,
tomorrow. They start tomorrow.
Oh, you can walk them to school tomorrow then.
Well, Drush is off, so I think she'll be taking care of that. I mean, I could, but I got work to do.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What are you doing? What do you got?
It's Labor Day weekend. Well, again, Sarah Yakub will be on this Thursday. A Democrat running for the 30th Assembly District, which is not really in our coverage area, but she has to come on, and that's always our policy. Asked to come on, we say yes. So she'll be on this Thursday. First time I'll be talking to her, so looking forward to that. Obviously, with school starting tomorrow, and then I can't wait. College football. I mean, it kind of started, but not really. It really starts this weekend, so I can't wait.
NFL's a week away.
Yeah, I know. But baseball's in full swing. Formula One, after their summer off, we took a summer break, like a month off. That was back this last weekend. The U.S. Open, Serena Williams won last night. I'm like, right now is just a great time and coming up for a great time for sports. And you and I love sports.
Yep.
Because it's been a really rough last 2 months. There's not much going on at all.
Yeah, just baseball. And I like baseball. But
I like it. Not as much as I used to. Right. But I can't watch a 3-hour long game.
Right. I don't have that much.
I don't have that much time. Or interest. So, all right. Well, you'll be gone then next week. I don't know if we'll do a show next week. Maybe I'll find a guest to come on, or maybe just, take the week off. We'll figure it out, and we'll announce it on our website. All right. Anything else that you want to talk about that we didn't get a chance to?
Have a safe weekend. Enjoy the first start of the school year, and let's keep our kids safe.
Amen to that. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. Good morning, Shannon. You're a little late. With nearly 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the outside and on the inside of your home or business. So give Brian a call today at 715-520-2271. Thank you for all of your positive comments on today's show, because as you all know, it's the little things that make a big difference. And no kidding, that stuff, Fitzy and I talk about it, and I guess we've never really talked about it on the show, but this puts us in a good mood too, and hopefully puts you in a good mood for the rest of the day. It just does, and we wouldn't feel that way if you guys weren't making those positive comments. So thank you. Until maybe next week, not really sure. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.